My husband Pete was general contractor on the island, and we just finished building our house in 2002 during the summer. And we moved in, and a week later we found out that Pete had angiosarcoma, cancer. Later the VA had determined that it was Agent Orange. He was in the Air Force from 1968 to 1972. He determined that he wanted to come to Island Hospital to be closer to home for his chemo. And he passed in May the 12th in 2003. It was pretty difficult, I have to tell you, because he was only 58 years old and we'd been married 25 years. I remember sitting one day in my living room and thinking, okay, Bev, this is it. You're either going to serve or you're going to suffer. And at that time I thought, I think I'm going to choose serve. To begin with, this here was the save the date card. And then here was the invitation for our first year. Betty Ann Ely contacted me and asked me if I would consider chairing a signature event for the hospital. They'd been trying for years to get it off the floor and it just wasn't happening. And I thought, what a good time. God just answered a prayer for me. And pretty soon my phone rang off the hook and I was able to meet all these wonderful people. 20 years later, they're still my friends, and we were able to get the event started. We decided we needed to make it a unique event, so we thought, well, we'll do a different theme each year. When I was trying to come up with a name for it, it just seemed so appropriate, the Gala of Hope. I recognize that hope doesn't always come in the form of a cure, but it's a powerful force when a cure isn't possible. And the name still has a place in my heart. I can remember having this meeting with Vince, and I said, oh, we'll do over 100,000. And Vince got really upset. No, Bev, gee, you just lost your husband, and we just don't want you to be disappointed.
Back then, I worked in the finance department. I was the director of finance, and we hadn't planned on it. We had, built our budget and everything else. Without it, we didn't know what it would raise.
More important than the money for me was building a relationship, because I knew very little about the hospital. I knew less about the foundation. In fact, most of us agreed to that. So for me, it was about building relationships so that our community knew more about the hospital.
I remember pulling up to Scimitar Ridge, which I had never been to before, and went through those doors, and it was just a buzz. There were people that were dressed up in formal wear, there were people in denim, and it was just electric.
When the gala was over, Vince asked me if I could come to his office Monday morning to meet with him. And he said, this is what I thought we would do that night. And he had $18,000 down, and we did $148,000 our first night.
As an employee of the hospital, to be there and see the support of the community and the people raise their paddle over and over and over again was heartwarming, it was overwhelming.
I think because the community had the ownership of it, that it was so successful all those years. They put the energy, the love, the pride in it.
We have the most creative people in this community, and every year I am blown away by the decor, the theme, how it runs through the entire event, from the invitation to the goodbye at the end.
What would my husband say? My husband was very much an introvert. I used to say he was my brakes on this runaway train. I don't think it would have surprised him that I did this, because this is who I am. He would be pleased that so many people are benefiting. I'm humbled the fact that it's still continuing for 20 years. I truly am. But I also want to say thank you to everyone sitting out here tonight and all of those who couldn't make it and have contributed through the years. It is because of you, your pride in this hospital, your ownership in our community and the hospital, that we are where we are today.
Being a healthcare worker is not easy, and the Island Health team knows that this community supports them and respects them and appreciates them, and it really keeps this team going.